Hey y'all, I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife behind ScrappyWife.com, and today I have a memory planning process video for you. I am working on the week of Christmas, and I have a ton of photos because, of course, it was Christmas. We traveled. We actually got to go to the White House on the 23rd. There was a lot going on. I had a million more photos than this, but I just went with these. So 16 different photos. We'll see how I can fit them all in. I don't have a ton to write because most of the photos are kind of self-explanatory, but I will get those photos in. I'm going to use a few things from my Christmas stash that I have pulled out. Other than that, I will put you guys on fast forward. Let's go. This was a little bit of a tricky memory planning layout to do because I had so many pictures and I wanted it to be festive and I wanted it to have a Christmas feel, but I just don't have a ton of room for decorations. So when that is the case, I generally go for stickers as my main decorating piece because I can layer those really easily. Usually they're a little bit smaller than some of the paper pieces I have in my stash. So you'll see me grab for those at the end, but right now I'm planning the background and I'm going to do a grouping of some really big trees. We're going for some non-traditional Christmas colors with the pinks and the turquoise and kind of the mustard yellow on this paper. And I'm going to draw out a really big Christmas tree and then I'm going to cut it out. I did the old school elementary method of folding the paper in half so that it would be perfectly symmetrical. So very thankful to my elementary school art teacher for teaching me that little trick because I have definitely used it many, many times. So cutting out my tree and ta-da, it's a Christmas tree. And then it's gonna go here in the middle. I'll cut it in half and it will divide over the two papers, but I thought a grouping of trees would be really nice. And I think I will just use the back of this particular one. So I can trace this tree because I want them to be the same. So I'm going to trace this one out. Yes, it goes off the page, but that's okay because I'm planning on layering it behind the polka dot tree. So I'll just trace that out. So I have that one and then I will trace a third one over here to the right. And that way I'm getting a ton of use out of this particular paper and I know that it all is meant to coordinate with each other. Once I get those trees cut out, that is really all I'm going to do in the background because I know I'm going to have so many pictures going on. I just am going to just go for it in the foreground. So just a little bit of a hint of Christmas in the background. And then we're going to put down all these pictures. I definitely could have taken some of them out. I am creating a December daily album, which is basically just recording a picture a day in December or telling a story a day, which is kind of what I'm working on. And you can use as many pictures as you want. There's not like rules for what you have to do. So a lot of these pictures will get included in my December daily album, and some of them that didn't make it for this page, I purposefully knew that I would be using in the other album, so I didn't really feel the need to repeat. But I like in my memory planner to kind of keep the everyday goings on. And so I wanted to include some of the things that were just filling our days. And I just couldn't leave any of these pictures out. They just had to all make the cut. So getting the Christmas trees on the page, I'm using my Tombow permanent adhesive here. And then this one will go down the middle. I'll end up going ahead and cutting it in half right now because it's already folded so I can already see where the halfway point is. And that'll just help me to get it on the page a little bit easier. And then I'll come back with my We Are Memory Keepers disc punch. So that is a punch that is a specialty punch that punches the holes that match the Happy Planner discs. It also matches a couple of other planning systems, but I really like it. It's the best hole punch I have found for punching discs punch, and it's a single hole punch. So you just have to move it along. It has an alignment guide that shows you how to fit it up to the next hole, and it punches through really thick paper. It punches through a lot of stuff. So you can create a lot of different things and use them in your planner or in any kind of disc album that you are making. All right, I have sped this up a lot, but basically I'm just going to cut apart all my pictures and I'm going to mat them on two different kinds of paper. I have that stocking paper that is from the Merry Everything kit from the Hip Kit Club, and then I have that light wood tone paper that is actually from Felicity Jane. And I'm going to combine those. I decided I wanted to go ahead and mat the pictures. I kind of thought of the pictures as presents, like gathered under the tree. Obviously, there's way too many to gather them under the tree, but I wanted them to be framed out. So I went for it and I adhered all of them, cut them all out. It took that was probably the bulk of the time that it took to do this memory planner spread, just because it was a lot going on. It was a lot of different pictures, and you can see I'm kind of alternating between the two papers just to make sure that I'm evening them out as far as how many are on each paper and that they're kind of spaced out throughout the week. So that's the plan, filling in all of the space. This is going to be a super full spread, but that's how I like it, so it doesn't bother me one little bit. All right, once those are all in place, meaning that they're all have their matting, then I can start placing them on the page. You can see, just like always, I'm working from the biggest elements to the smallest elements. And in this case, the biggest elements were my Christmas trees, which I wanted in the background. And now I'm kind of doing the medium-sized elements, which would be the pictures. And at first I thought, well, I'll have them kind of tilted all across the page, and you can see I'm kind of placing them. They're pretty close to the days that they happened on. I'm just grouping them kind of in some natural groups. And I tried having them all kind of askew, but it turns out I didn't really like that. I'm not actually worried about journaling. In fact, I'm not going to journal at all on this particular page because to me, all of these pictures are self-explanatory. I know that they might not be in the future. I get that, but I do know there's a ton of journaling that happens in my December daily. And so I feel like I would end up repeating myself a lot. So got all the pictures on there, but I'm not really sure about this having them tilted. My organized personality just could not take it in the end, so I did end up straightening them all up and having them kind of line up in some different ways. They are grouped together and they overlap and things like that, so they don't fit perfectly in all of the boxes of the memory planner, but I just wanted to change it up just a bit. All right, so once those are all adhered down on the page, then I'm going to go grab a sticker book. And this is a Happy Planner sticker book. This one was called Christmas Joy, and it has some really bright tones in it, not always your typical Christmas tones. And so I grabbed that one and started flipping through it to see if there were some stickers that A, were the right size, and B, might go well on the spread. And what I did find were a lot of phrase stickers. Now, like I said, I'm not doing any journaling, and I'm someone that actually really loves words on a page. And so the phrase stickers will really come in handy just to kind of satisfy. It really sets the tone for the page. So you have Happy Christmas, oh what fun, Jingle and Mingle, all phrases and words that have to do with the Christmas season. And so I thought it really helped set the tone for the page. Just going to use a little whiteout for this line over here because I want to put the word family for when we traveled to see my family and all the cousins got to see each other for the first time in forever, it felt like. And I'm just going to go for it on using a ton of these clear phrases. I'm just fitting them wherever I can. Some of them are sideways. I just don't like white space. So I'm trying to fill it all up, and I know I don't want to add any journaling. So every little white space I am looking for how I can fill. I also start to flip through and I find these circle stickers. So having a repeating element, something that you see throughout the spread, really helps bring it together. So I have that polka dot tree as one of the main focal points that it's in the background, and then I thought these circle stickers would be fabulous all over the page, and actually I have them all over the page. There's a ton in this book and I used up a bunch of them. I'm just going to go through. I like putting stickers on the corners of pictures, like right there with Penny, because I think it softens it from looking so boxy when you kind of disguise some of those corners and where the pictures meet up. So I'm going to use circle stickers all over the spread. I end up having to shift a few things around just because of how the stickers are lined up towards the top, but I think it comes out really well. It's a lot, and I realize that not everyone has that same style as far as memory planning, but I love using my supplies. I love doing all the pictures that I can because the pictures really tell the story. So I like using all that I can, even on weeks when there's a ton going on. I can still, fit in a lot of different pictures. I'm having to shift this one because I didn't want that circle, all three circles lined up in a row, if that makes sense. I needed them slightly offset because I didn't like how that looked to my eye. So you can see I'm like going for it, using all the things. Now I'm just going to flip through, see if there's anything else in this book that I want to use, and then I find the Wordfetti stickers. So not only do I have the clear words, but now we're just going to go for it on the Wordfetti. These have gold foil in them, which again to me really screams Christmas, is bright and colorful. And so I'm going to fill in a ton of these Wordfetti stickers all over the spread, and then I'll call it done. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the bell notification button. I will have all of the supplies that I used today linked down below, so you can feel free to check out those links in the description box. I also have a link to my brand new Patreon page, all kinds of perks, extra content, happy mails, Zoom meetings, all kinds of things going on Patreon, so make sure to check that out as well. All right, I hope that you have a fabulous day, and as always, keep it creative.